How's it going? So it's finally happened. I'm making the plugin video. I'm going to go through all of my ToA plugins, and then after that, I'm going to go through basically all the other notable plugins that I've got downloaded. So for each plugin, I will click the config and show you my settings for it, and also explain what I use it for. So let's go ahead and pull up the plugins now. So we'll just go top to bottom here. So bank tag layouts. I use this plugin to have my tabs like this over on the side. It makes it really easy to gear up. Make sure you have it set to zigzag here so that you can go through like this and gear up nice and quick. See? So next on the list we've got Better NPC Highlight. This is a big one. We've got a lot of settings in here and a lot of things not necessarily ToA related within this plugin. I'll just go through really quickly and click each option here. You can see what I've got marked. A lot of them are going to be NPC IDs rather than names, so honestly I don't even know what some of them are, but I will, for the ones I can remember, I'll put it down in the description or on screen. So we've got tile, true tile, which I do like to have on black. I really like the black tiles, makes it's pretty easy to see no matter where you are. This 11783 is the outline of the boulder at Baba, the broken boulder. And this is the head at Bard Orbis. I believe these are swarms in the Kefri room. And here are all my settings down below. I don't think I've necessarily changed any of this. Make sure you do have ignore dead NPCs checked though. So next we've got better overload. And basically what this does, in ToA specifically, is it makes your timer for your salt turn a different color when you're about to have your stats regen. And this is helpful when you have brews and you'd like to brew in your 15s. And by that I mean every 15 seconds your stats are regened. And if you brew on the 15, your stats never get drained from the brew. So that's nice. Charge calculator, I use this to uncharge my shadow. And when I'm charging it, I can click this -8, and I will have a set number of runes left over, rather than having to type it in myself. Custom menu swaps, this is a pretty cool one. I mainly use it for Akka's shadow. This basically allows you to click through Akka and prioritize the click on the shadow. It's useful for butterflying. That way you don't have to right click the shadow all the time. I also have a handful of other settings in here. Some of them I don't think are set up properly, and I don't think they work correctly. Some of them I've had in here for so long that I don't even fully remember what they're there for. But I believe ones like Examine Obelisk and Examine Kefri are useful so that you can spam click when they're not attackable. Because rather than just clicking through them because they're not attackable yet, you'll still be right-clicking on them, which won't make your character run all over you. Customizable XP Drops. This is the one that shows you what my predicted hit is going to be. I've also got a different font set up in there, and I've set it so that the XP drop color changes based on what prayer I'm using. So these are all of my settings. The font I have, my predicted hit settings, and all of these other settings. I honestly don't remember exactly what I changed in here, but yeah, here is everything I've got for that. Death charge reminder. This one is pretty simple. It basically just shows a little overlay when you need to death charge. The only place I use death charge typically is Kefri Room in solos and Warden P2 on the core. But yeah, that's a cool one. Ground markers. So this is like a huge plugin. There's not too much to look at in the settings itself, but I will be linking below all of my ground markers for ToA. I'll have each room individually, and so you can use those as you'd like. Low detail. This basically, I don't know if it changes anything here. Yeah, I bet. Basically just gets rid of all these rocks and different things like that. Makes the ground a lot cleaner. I just have it on for everywhere. I just leave it on. I never turn it off. Menu entry swapper. So this is a huge one. It's used in a lot of places, not just in ToA, but I will go through all of my settings here real quick. It's gonna be hard for me to even remember because this is one that I've just had on forever. I don't even really remember where I use all of this stuff. I'm pretty sure customizable shift click and left click, super useful. Like for example, my shadow, I have shift click uncharge, which you can just hold shift and change the setting. This way I can quickly uncharge my shadow by just holding shift, clicking, and pushing 1. So that's pretty cool. Shift click walk here. This is huge, especially for Baba Redex. There's a handful of other places that this is really useful in ToA. Can't think of any off the top of my head right now. Maybe Monkey Room, it's a good one. But yeah, this is like a huge quality of life plugin. And so the rest of my settings, I'll just scroll through. I think I missed a couple up there, hovering over them. This bank deposit shift click. So this is what I have it set to. This basically allows you to come into your bank and you can eat things while your bank is open by holding shift. If I'm not holding shift, I just deposit them. But if I'm holding shift, I can actually eat them. Pretty cool for pre-potting. Monster HP percentage. This I really only use for tick eating the ball at P1 Warden. So basically, I'll just really quickly explain through that strat. So you'll tank the small little orbs down to 75 HP, throw on rapid heal so you get up to 76 before the next set comes. And then you'll look over at Warden's HP from this plugin. And once it hits 48, you turn on rapid heal again. You will tick perfectly regen HP, which will tick eat the next ball that comes. It's pretty nice, and that's the only reason I even have this plugin. So mouse tooltips. I actually kind of forgot I even had this on, but I believe you see where it says inspect grouping obelisk. That is this plugin. Yeah, so anything that it basically shows what it's showing up here in the top left, but on hover. So it kind of helps you know when you're hovering something. I believe it's doing that for everything here. Yeah, I really enjoy this plugin. Makes things a lot more easier to see like what you're hovering on. Multicolor highlight. So this plugin is basically only used for the Baba puzzle room. I've had a lot of people ask me about this one in particular, and so this is how you do it. You basically get this plugin and enter all this information, and there you go. You can highlight different NPCs with different colors, and yeah, that's how you do it. Object markers. So I use this in a handful of places. The first place that comes to mind is the Zabak puzzle room. You can mark the, you can do it one of two ways. I believe I have the full waterfall marked and then the empty waterfall not marked. As long as you have one marked and not the other, whenever you use your jug on the waterfall, it will either become marked or remove the marking from it, and it makes it really easy to know when you can click away. So that's the main use for this plugin. I think I have a handful of other things marked with it as well, but yeah, this is a cool one. You can basically hold shift and mark object on just about anything in game. I don't know where the option is on this. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, pretty cool. The prayer plugin, I believe the main thing I use this for is this prayer orb option, which you can see here in the corner. You can see the prayer orb going through, and as long as you click twice before this line gets to the end, you'll be flicking correctly. So yeah, it can be helpful for that. What is this fella doing? So Thrall Helper. This I basically use to let me know when my Thrall is going to disappear. I have a pop-up that'll show right here, and it just reminds me that I need to summon a Thrall. So yeah, super useful. Tile indicators. This one is a cool one. I mainly use it to highlight true tile, which as you can see, your character is a little bit behind where your character's true tile is, where the game is registering your character to be at. So this is really helpful for PVM. so you can know like where your character actually is in game rather than just where your like it's showing your character is. So yeah, super cool. Oh, I also have, yeah, I have these settings as well. Highlight hover tile, which you can see right here, and destination tile. So when I click a tile, I know which tile I clicked. So yeah, both super helpful. Tile packs. So I basically only use this plugin in Akka, though it does have a lot of other cool features as well. Here are the settings I have for it. I basically have them turned, you probably can't see it, but I have my opacity for this set to 9 out of 255. So it's very, very subtle because I have the grid tile set up for Akka for double treble. And if I can, yeah, here. These are all the different things you can get with the Tile Packs plugin. So I guess I have a few things in here. Abyssal Sire, General Grottor. This is the main thing I use that plugin for, the double treble. So yeah, pretty cool. The Timers plugin is a base Runelite plugin that I use just to show the boosts and different things that I have. So if you see, I grab, that won't work. If I pre-pop both of these, you can see them popping up right here. And you can hold Alt and move any of this stuff around. And you can also drag left or right, which I won't do because I don't want to mess with it. But yeah, you can make it longer vertically or horizontally by doing that. Toggle Chat. This is a plugin that I use because I don't play with my chat box open, as it would be kind of in the way. So I have this on for instances in which I need to read the chat. Like for example, Monkey Room in Teams where we're not in voice together. So I have it set to backquote, which is the key right beside 1. And so I can really easily just open and close my chat box. Tombs of Amascut. This is a really, really overpowered plugin. There are a ton of options in here. I will go through a bunch of them really quickly. I haven't touched this plugin in so long, so I don't even really remember all of the settings that I've changed in here, but I will go through everything and you can check it out. So this is everything that I've got turned on for this plugin. Radius markers. I must have skipped over this one when doing the ToA stuff. I will definitely include this below in the description, but here are my settings for it. And all of my radius markers are somewhere here. I don't know what marker 13 is, but yeah. ToA Custom Presets. This is what I use to change the name of my presets. Like this. Oh, well, they not update? Okay, yeah. Pretty cool. Okay, now that we're done with the Tombs of Amascut plugins, I will scroll through the plugins over here and try and point out some of the useful ones that I have that aren't exactly ToA related. 117 HD, you guys probably know what this is, but makes your game a little bit more high quality. I just prefer not to play with it on, whoops. But yeah, pretty cool one. Let's scroll down here. APM, this just shows my actions per minute down at the bottom. Like if I click a bunch, you can see my APM going up higher and higher. And if I tap my keyboard a lot, going more and more and more. Not really useful, but I just think it's kind of cool. So yeah, I've got that plugin on, and here are my settings for it. I'm not going to go over plugins like this agility plugin because who cares really. Animated icons, this is the plugin I use to make my infernal cape animated in my inventory, so that is pretty cool. Animation smoothing, this is a must-have in my opinion. It makes basically everything in game just look so much nicer. Annoyance Mute, I recently turned this plugin on and added most all of these things down here. I think all of these, or maybe all of those. And basically what these will do are mute the sounds at P4 Warden, because that is a very, very loud part of Warden. And so I muted almost all of the sounds using this plugin. Here are the rest of my settings. I guess I don't have any of those muted. So yeah, there you go. Anti-drag. Here are my settings for anti-drag. I use 20, and this plugin just basically makes it so it takes a second to drag anything in your inventory. Makes switching quite a bit easier. Under the bank plugin, you can turn on keyboard bank pin, which allows you to type in your pin with your keyboard. Pretty cool. I don't think there's anything else really useful in here. Oh, I do have disable left click bank equipment, which basically means when I click left on this, it automatically right clicks it. So for me to deposit my items I'm wearing, I have to double click like that, rather than just left click like the inventory. This way I don't accidentally deposit everything I'm wearing, which can be quite annoying. Detached Camera, this is a really cool one. Basically, if you hit the hotkey on here, you can now move freely around the game. Very nice for when you die and you would like to watch your friends. What is going on over here? Interesting. Entity Hider. This is a very useful plugin, of course. I use hide thralls and hide dead NPCs. I don't think anything else. Yeah. Equipment screenshot. This is a cool one as well. Basically adds this little button here, and when you click it, it'll screenshot all of your equipment and your entire inventory and automatically copy it for you to your clipboard. So you can just really quickly send equipment and inventory screenshots. Friend notes. This is a really nice one. Basically right click on someone's name and add a note. Simple as that. GPU, I really like my settings for this plugin. In particular, the anti-aliasing set to MSAA 16 and the UI scaling on bicubic Mitchell. No idea what this means, but that's how I like it. This is what my game looks like without that. So yeah, big difference. Hub Party Panel. This is a really useful one. It basically allows you to come here, join a party, and now whenever someone else joins this party, you can now see their inventory, their equipment, what prayers they're using, and then you can also ping tiles that everyone in the party can see. Super useful plugin. Improved tile indicators. This is a really simple plugin. As you can see, the true tile that I have on, it's not showing my character, or it's going behind my character. If I turn this off, now it's going through my character. Just looks a lot better with this plugin on. NPC ID. This is useful if you're trying to find the ID of basically anything in a game. You can turn this on and there's nothing here with an ID. Sick. But basically, it'll put the ID of any NPCs that have IDs over them, which is really helpful if you're trying to mark something or yeah. The report button, this allows you to see how long you've been online on the report button. Pretty cool. The Runelite plugin, I mainly use for lock window size and setting my game size here. Remember client position is also pretty cool. I think there's some other stuff in here as well, but yeah, I think that's most of the stuff that's like actually useful in here. Unresponsive Cursor. This basically shows a little animation on your cursor whenever either your internet goes out, which would be connection lost, or the Jagex servers are not doing so great, which would say server freeze. So you basically know when you're lagging. And you can set the delay on it so it won't be showing up all the time. Like I bet if I do 1. No pop-ups. Okay. And I will one more time scroll through all of my plugins here. If there's something that I happen to miss and you want a screenshot of my config for it, go ahead and leave a comment and I will definitely get you a screenshot of my settings for it. But yeah, let me just scroll through everything here so you can take a look one last time. Cool. So yeah, that is everything. If you haven't already, go ahead and join the Discord. Link will be in the description. I'm also streaming on Twitch, YouTube, and Kick basically every day, so I will see you guys there.